The white fur on a raccoon's face helps accentuate the black mask, making their facial expressions more visible to other raccoons in the moonlight. This aids in social communication. Raccoons have a high tolerance for many toxins that would sicken other animals. This allows them to eat a variety of wild plants and even some discarded human foods that others would avoid. A raccoon's digestive system is relatively short, which is common for omnivores. This means they need to eat frequently throughout their waking hours to maintain their energy levels. Raccoons are known to use communal dens during particularly harsh winters. Multiple unrelated raccoons may huddle together in a single hollow tree to share body heat. The paws of a raccoon are so sensitive that they can distinguish between different species of small prey just by feeling the vibrations in the mud or water. Raccoons have a natural immunity to the stings of many insects, including bees and wasps. This allows them to raid hives for honey and larvae without being deterred by the defenders. Raccoons are often very quiet when moving, thanks to the soft pads on their feet. This stealth allows them to sneak up on prey or avoid detection by larger predators. A raccoon's whiskers are incredibly sensitive to changes in air pressure. This helps them detect movement around them, even if they are focused on digging or searching for food. In laboratories, raccoons have shown an understanding of causality. For example, they can figure out that dropping stones into a tube of water will raise the level and bring a floating treat within reach. The fur on a raccoon's tail is much coarser than the fur on its body. This provides extra protection and durability as the tail often drags on the ground or rubs against rough bark. Raccoons have a very high metabolic rate for their size. To prepare for winter, a raccoon can increase its body weight by up to 50% in the late summer and fall. Raccoons are capable of making very specific choices about their food. If given a choice between several items, they will often prioritize high-fat or high-sugar foods to maximize energy gain. A raccoon's lifespan in the wild is often cut short by human-related factors, such as car accidents. Because they are nocturnal, they are frequently difficult for drivers to see at night. Raccoons have a dual-chambered stomach structure that helps them process a wide variety of fibrous plant materials and proteins efficiently. The agility of a raccoon extends to their ability to balance on thin wires and fences. They use their sensitive paws and tail to navigate urban infrastructure like tightropes. Raccoons are known to remember the locations of high-value food sources for years. If they find a reliable fruit tree or a specific house that leaves food out, they will return annually. The ears of a raccoon are relatively small and rounded, which helps prevent heat loss in cold climates. Despite their size, they are extremely efficient at pinpointing the source of high-pitched sounds. Raccoons have been observed fishing by sitting on a bank and quickly pinning fish against the bottom with both paws. This requires incredible coordination and timing. A raccoon's claws are non-retractable, similar to a dog's. These sturdy claws are essential for digging for grubs and providing grip when climbing up sheer wooden surfaces. Raccoons are surprisingly expressive. When threatened, they will arch their backs, puff out their fur to appear larger, and emit a series of loud growls and barks. The density of raccoons in urban areas can be 20 times higher than in the wild. This high density leads to more social interaction and sometimes more competition for the best denning spots. Raccoons have a unique protein in their blood that helps them resist certain types of snake venom. This allows them to occasionally hunt and eat venomous snakes like copperheads. A raccoon's scent glands are located near their tail. They use these to mark trees and rocks, leaving a chemical signature that tells other raccoons about their age, sex, and health. The raccoon's ability to live in diverse environments is due to its generalist nature. They don't rely on one specific food or habitat, making them one of the most resilient mammals on Earth. Raccoons have a very flexible spine, which allows them to curl into a tight ball when sleeping. This helps conserve heat and protects their vulnerable belly from potential threats. While they are famous for their hands, their back feet are also quite powerful. They provide the primary thrust when the raccoon is running or jumping. Raccoons have a specialized way of drinking water. Instead of lapping it up like a dog, they often dip their paws in and lick the water off, or simply submerge their snouts and suck it up. A raccoon's whiskers can grow up to 4 inches long. These are vital for judging whether a gap is wide enough for their body to pass through before they attempt to enter. Raccoons are known to exhibit neophilia, which is a love for new things. This curiosity is what drives them to investigate every nook and cranny of their environment, including your garage. The mask of a raccoon is unique to every individual, much like a human fingerprint. While they look similar to us, other raccoons can likely tell each other apart by these patterns. Raccoons have a very efficient cooling system. Since they don't sweat like humans, they pant and lick their forearms, allowing the evaporation to cool the blood vessels near the skin's surface. A raccoon's nest is called a den. They prefer hollow trees or logs, but will readily use attics, chimneys, and abandoned burrows made by other animals like woodchucks. Raccoons are highly opportunistic. They have been known to follow other animals, like otters, and steal their leftovers once the primary hunter is finished eating. The raccoon's vision is best at medium distances. While they have excellent night vision, they are thought to be colorblind, seeing the world in various shades of gray and green. Raccoons have a remarkably high level of manual dexterity. They can untie knots and even open jars with screw-top lids, a task that requires a significant amount of coordination. Raccoons are known to be very persistent. If they decide they want to get into a specific area, they will spend hours testing different entry points and methods until they succeed. A raccoon's coat changes with the seasons. In the summer, they shed much of their thick underfur to stay cool, giving them a much thinner and sleeker appearance. Raccoons have a very developed somatosensory cortex. This is the part of the brain that handles touch, and in raccoons, it is much larger and more complex than in most other mammals. Raccoons are not actually related to pandas, despite the nickname trash panda. While they share some physical similarities, they belong to their own distinct family called Procyonidae. The social structure of raccoons is often described as a fission-fusion society. This means they spend some time alone and some time in groups, depending on the season and food availability. Raccoons have a very long thumb on their front paws, though it isn't truly opposable. This digit provides the extra grip and leverage needed to handle small, slippery objects. Raccoons are capable of swimming for several hours if necessary. While they prefer to stay on land, they are surprisingly buoyant and use a dog paddle stroke to move through the water. A raccoon's sense of taste is also highly developed. They are known to be very picky about the ripeness of fruit and will often discard pieces that are not at the peak of sweetness. Raccoons have a bacular bone, which is a bone found in the male reproductive organ of many mammals. Scientists use the size and shape of this bone to determine the age of male raccoons. Raccoons are very vocal during the mating season. The woods can often be filled with the sounds of screaming and fighting as males compete for the attention of females. The raccoon's ability to survive in cities is partly due to their generalist nesting habits. They can turn almost any man-made structure into a safe and warm home for their kits. Raccoons have a very high level of behavioral plasticity. This means they can quickly change their habits and strategies in response to new challenges or changes in their environment. Raccoons are known to be very hand-oriented, even when they are not foraging. They will often sit and fidget with objects, turning them over and over in their paws just to explore them. The raccoon's sense of balance is aided by their wide-set legs and low center of gravity. This makes them very stable when moving along narrow branches or the tops of fences. Raccoons have a very efficient way of storing fat. Unlike some animals that store fat all over their body, raccoons concentrate much of their winter reserves in their tail and hindquarters. The intelligence of a raccoon is often compared to that of a 2 to 3-year-old human child. They show similar levels of curiosity, persistence, and basic problem-solving skills. Raccoons are known to wash their paws even when there is no food present. This behavior is thought to be a way of keeping the skin on their pads soft and sensitive for foraging. The raccoon's ability to rotate its feet is due to a highly specialized ankle joint. This joint is much more flexible than the ankle joints found in most other four-legged mammals. Raccoons are one of the most successful mammals in North America. Their combination of intelligence, dexterity, and adaptability has allowed them to thrive for millions of years.